Hey guys, and welcome back to today's NBA video play of the day. In today's video, we're going to talk about a matchup over in the Eastern Conference here as we head into Game 6 between the first-seeded Boston Celtics and the fourth-seeded Washington Wizards, with Washington getting this one on their home court. For more of this pick video content, be sure to click that subscribe button, and be sure to check out our MLB video play of the day over at our YouTube channel as well. And for more pick content, check out our main website, stumpthespread.com, which I'll throw a link to down in the video description. Over at our main site, you can access our daily free play as well as all of our top confidence premium bets. So heading right on into this one, today we have the Boston Celtics, who are coming off an impressive result in their last outing against the Washington Wizards. In Game 5 at home, the Boston Celtics went on to win that one by a final of 123 to 101, and the Celtics were finally able to get out to a hot start in the first quarter. After really getting raked over the coals in the first quarter in each of their first two home games of the series back in Games 1 and 2, Boston was able to win each of those games back on their home court in Games 1 and 2, even though they got off to a slow start. But this time around, the Celtics got off to a hot start of their own, getting out of the first quarter ahead 33-21, and the Celtics just kept building on their lead from there as they went on to outscore Washington in every quarter throughout the contest, going on to beat them by 22 points in what was a tremendous offensive performance as well as defensive performance overall from the Boston Celtics. This series has been all about the home court thus far, with the home team winning in each case. Right now this series, Boston is up 3-2, going to have a tough match on their hands today in Washington. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to break that streak that we've seen thus far in the series, with the home team really showing a true edge. Thus far in the series, 4 of the 5 games we've seen the over hit. In the last outing, we saw the total hit 124 points. The game prior to that, it was 123. And really the only game where the over hasn't hit by a significant margin was back in Game 3, and that was a game that the Celtics only put up 89 points. But outside of that, the winning team in this series has scored a minimum of 116 points, with scoring over 120 points in 4 of those games. And really, it's not all that surprising that this has been a higher scoring series, given the fact that these are still two young and somewhat inexperienced teams in terms of playoff experience overall. And with that being the case, it's not too big of a surprise to see these groups kind of playing more to the pace of what we would see them do throughout the regular season, instead of going more into the conservative half-court style of play that we typically see in postseason play. But on the year, Boston ranked 7th in the NBA in scoring average, putting up 108 points per game, while Washington was right up there as well, ranking 5th in the league in scoring average, averaging 109.2 points per game. And if you add those two numbers together, you get just over 217 points. And right now, with the current total, we see it at 216.5, which is a pretty large number for a playoff game. Certainly, given the fact that we've seen this series trend overall hitting those overs, it's not too surprising to see this total set at such a high margin. Back in our last outing here, back in Game 5 in Boston, the starters had a tough time for Washington in comparison to Celtics, which was a complete turnaround from what we saw in Game 4, where the Washington starters just absolutely dominated their time on the court compared to Boston's starters. But Washington, Bradley Beal had, after really a tremendous outing back in Game 4, he really fell off in Game 5, scoring 16 points on 7 of 19 shooting, having the worst plus-minus on the team at -20 during his time on the court. And John Wall led the team in scoring, putting up 21 points on 7 of 17 shooting. But Washington today is going to need better results out of both of their two leading guards if they're going to get things back on track and try to even the series back up at 3 games apiece. The Celtics, on the other hand, their starters were terrific. 4 guys scored at least 18 points, and it was actually Bradley who led the way, putting up 29 points on a very efficient 12 of 19 shooting. Isaiah Thomas, he facilitated really well, but he wasn't necessarily the primary offensive threat, even though Boston went on to win by a significant margin as he put up 18 points, also 9 assists on 5 of 13 shooting. But Boston overall did a great job of spreading the rock around to a bunch of different scoring threats, while Washington just didn't look quite as comfortable on the offensive end as we saw from them during those 2 wins previously on their home court. So heading into today's game, we have this total set at 216.5 points. It's going to be interesting to see if we see the trend continue of higher scoring affairs. I'm going to take a slightly more contrarian view on this one again today, like I did yesterday, taking the under in the Houston-San Antonio series, and that one ended up hitting. But whenever you get to a point where a team is down to their last out, essentially, where if they lose, the series is over, that makes things a lot more important. And as a result, I see this one being slightly slower paced than what we've been seeing in general out of this series. Also, we've seen Washington perform much better defensively on their home court than on the road, and Boston hasn't been putting up the kind of offensive performances on the road as a result as we've seen from them at home. So if Boston scores in that about 100-point range or so, this is going to be a really tough total to hit the over on. And as a result, we're going to go ahead and side with the under today, just given the fact that this total is at such a high number, and the importance of this game is likely to facilitate more of a half-court grinded-out affair. I mean, we're not going to see this one in the 90s most likely, but still, even if we see each team score, in that 105 to 108 point range, we're still going to see the under hit in this case. So that's what we're going to side with today, taking the under as our NBA video play of the day. And again, guys, for more of this pick video content, be sure to click that subscribe button. Check out our MLB video play of the day. And for more pick content, check out our main website, stumpthespread.com, for our daily free play as well as all of our top confidence premium bets. So thanks for stopping on in, and we hope to see you in future videos. Bye.